is Patience, the Brainy Tutor. Today we are going to learn the basics about graphing functions. So first of all, we want to learn how to name our quadrants. So first of all, we have some definitions to go over. An ordered pair has 2 points, X and Y. And then we have our graph. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. The point here is called the origin. And it usually has points 0, 0. The x value is the 0, the y value is the 0, and it's called the origin. And when we are naming our graph, this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So it's named counterclockwise. We start with the first quadrant and we go second, third, fourth. Like I said, the horizontal line on our graph is the x-axis and the vertical line is the y-axis. And quadrants are always written in Roman numerals. That's why we write them like this, 1, 2, 3, 4 in Roman numerals. And they correspond to all the regions on the graph. The points that we are going to be graphing can land anywhere in our quadrants. We have positive values and negative values. So to the right of our graph, we have the positive values, and to the left will be the negative values. On the y-axis, in the first quadrant, we have positive values, and then negative values at the bottom of the y-axis. When plotting our points, we always plot starting with the x value. So we identify what the x value is on the x-axis. And then the second value is always on the y-axis. So if we were to plot supposedly point 2, 3, we would have to first identify 2 on the x-axis. Then once we identify 2 on the x-axis, we look either up or down on the y-axis to find the next value. So since we're looking for point 3, this is our first point on the x-axis, 2. Now here's 3. So this point here is 2, 3. All right, so in summary, we first plot the x point, and then we can plot the y coordinate by moving up or down on the y-axis. If we're given y is equal to 2x minus 5, so we're gonna make our table. Supposing we make our x value 0, y will be negative 5. What if we make x at the x point 1? Then we'll have 2 minus 5, and this will be negative 3 for y. If our x value is negative 1, if we plug it into this equation, then our y value will be negative 7. So then we go over here and identify 0, the first point, then look up and down on the y-axis to find negative 5. And negative 5 will be right there. That's our first point. Next point, we identify 1, positive 1. Then look up or down on the y-axis to find negative 3. So here will be negative 3. So it's 1, negative 3. And then the second point, the third point rather, it will be negative 1, negative 7. Identify negative 1 on the x-axis, then look up or down to find your y value. Since our y value is -7, it's going to be somewhere at the bottom. -7 will be right there. We have 0, -5. We have 1, -3. And then -1, -7. So this will be a straight line. This line is identified by the function y is equal to x minus 5. You can also find the domain and range. As we discussed previously, the domain is going to be from -infinity to +infinity, and the range is also going to be -infinity to +infinity, because this line continues forever in either direction. On your own, graph 2x minus 3y is equal to 6. And then find the domain and range. So a function f is increasing over an interval when x1 is less than x2. Okay? So that means that y will be increasing as x moves from left to right. And also a function is decreasing over an interval if x1 is also less than x2, meaning the y will be decreasing as x moves from left to right. And then of course a function will be constant if y remains constant as x moves from left to right. So as a memory aid, x values, they tell you where you are, and the y values tell you what you're doing. It may also help you to ask yourself, what is y doing as x moves left to right? So y will either be increasing, decreasing, or stay constant over the open interval over the x values. Let's have an example. I'm going to do a graph for you and we'll see where it's increasing or decreasing. So we have a point 5, -80. The other point is -120. So it's right here. Show me where the function is increasing, decreasing, or remaining constant. So we know from this end to that end, it's going up. So here it's going to be increasing. And then it's going to be decreasing from this point to this point. And then it's increasing again from this point to that point. It's increasing from -infinity to -1. And it's also increasing from 5 to infinity. Determining increasing or decreasing is based on the x-axis. So it's increasing from -infinity to -1, because that's what this point is here, and it's increasing from 5 on the x-axis to infinity. It is going to be decreasing from this point here, -1 on the x-axis, to 5. So it's from here to here, it's decreasing. It's going down, but we are looking at the x-axis. So it's decreasing from -1 to 5. This graph is not constant at any point, so there are no values for that. Your homework, please determine where this function is increasing, decreasing, and where it remains constant. I want to thank you for watching the Brainy Tutor. Thank you for subscribing and have a great day.